Welcome back to the fourth class, Mathematics SS1. And I believe you took part in the first three classes so that you can flow with us. Still from geometry, we are going to look at today congruent triangles. Congruent triangles. What is a congruent triangle? What are congruent triangles? Triangles are said to be congruent if they are equal in size and shape. That is, they look alike in all ramification. And how do you determine if triangles are equal in size and shape? You can do that not just by physically looking at the triangles and assuming they are equal, but by knowing the angles and size of those triangles. That means that if two triangles are having equal size and equal angles, they are said to be congruent. They might not be in the same order. Like if I have a triangle like this, say triangle A, and I have another one maybe like this, say triangle B. There are conditions that these two triangles will meet and we will say that they are congruent, even though the order of arrangement is not the same. So we are going to look at those conditions that will be met to make two or more triangles congruent. First of all, we are going to look at the conditions. One is two sides and the included angle. Two sides and the included angle. What does it mean? When we have two triangles like this, maybe a triangle like this, and another one like this, no matter how it is arranged, and we have a side like this to be equal to this side, and a second side to be equal to the other second side, the angle between them also equal. If this is done, we can say that these two triangles are congruent, because this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and this angle is equal to this angle. Let's label this one ABC, and this one X, Y, Z. So these two triangles are equal if AC is said to be equal to XZ, BC is equal to YZ, and the angle C is equal to Z. This angle is called the included angle. That is the angle between the two sides of the triangle. If you have a side like this given and this other side given, the angle between these two sides is called an included angle. So that is why we said it's two sides and the included angle. And you can call it side angle side. Side angle side, side angle side. So when you have this condition, even if you are not given the third side and the other two angles, you can say that these triangles are congruent. Since these sides are equal and this angle is equal, definitely this angle will be equal and this side will also be equal. So this is one of the conditions to prove congruency of triangles. We are going to look at the second one, which says two angles at a corresponding side. Two angles and a corresponding side. It could be angle side angle, angle angle side, or side angle angle. Let us see what we mean by that. Now, when you say two angles and a corresponding side, now let's look at a triangle this way. Let's say this is a triangle with an angle and an angle, then let's say an included side. Another triangle, even if it is in this way, then we say this angle, and an included side. Now, if you look at these two triangles, this angle is equal to this angle is equal to this angle, and the side between the two angles is equal to the side in this other one between the two angles. So we'll call this A, B, C, call this X, Y, Z, meaning that AB, side AB should be equal to YZ in this other triangle, and the angle A here should be equal to angle Z, while angle B here should be equal to angle Y here. If this condition is met, we say that this triangle is congruent. Now, we said it could be angle side angle, angle angle side, or side angle angle. This is the first one we have drawn, angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. That is the side in between it. But even if the side is not between the two angles, but the side is included. Now let's look at what we mean by that. You have two angles and maybe a side here known for A, B, C, and another triangle. Let's say this is this side, this is this angle, and then this side known. Now, this is a corresponding side. Why do we call it a corresponding side? Because this is a side at this angle that is having one curve. This is a side at this angle that is having one curve. So they are of the same side. They are of the same side if you compare the two triangles. Because this angle that is having two curves and this one having two curves is facing the side given. So this side is known as corresponding side of these two triangles. So if that is the case, we can as well say that they are corresponding, and that is what we call angle, angle, side. That is angle, angle, side, or side, angle, angle, whichever way you want to arrange it or represent it. So any of these two is represented as two angles and a corresponding side, and we can say they are congruent. That is one of the conditions also. Now another condition is three sides, or you can as well call it side, side, side. If you have two or more angles that the three sides are given to be equal, let's say a triangle is this way, another triangle is this way, even though the arrangements are not the same, if we say that this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side, automatically it means the three angles are equal. And because of that, we say that triangle ABC and triangle XYZ are congruent. Why? Because AB is equal to XY, BC is equal to YZ, and AC is equal to XZ. So if these conditions are met, we can as well say that these two triangles are congruent. But then the last one is right angle, hypotenuse, and side. Right angle, hypotenuse, and side. What do we mean by that? If two triangles are given such that two of them are right angle triangle, let's say we draw this one like this. If one of the angle is right angle and this other one have right angle, and then they say that the hypotenuse of this is equal to the hypotenuse of this. If they give you any other side to be equal to any other side here, it means the triangle are congruent. If they give you any other side to be equal to any other side here, it means the triangles are congruent. That is why we call it RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, and then side. It could be this side, it could be this side. Whichever, even if they label this to be equal to this, it's still congruent. Because if this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, automatically the third side will be equal to the third side here. Because of what? If you use Pythagoras theorem, you will notice that we said that the hypotenuse squared is equal to the opposite square plus adjacent square. So if the hypotenuse and the opposite or the adjacent are equal, definitely the other side will be equal. And that will make the three angles to be equal as well. So we can say that these two triangles are congruent because of what? Right angle, hypotenuse, side. So these are the conditions to prove congruency. It's either we have two sides and the included angle, two angles and a corresponding side, three sides, right angle, hypotenuse, and side. Now you will notice that this angle is not included, unlike this one. The first one, the angle must be included. It must be between the two sides before you say they are congruent. But assuming this is not a right angle, this is not congruent. Assuming this is a different angle, maybe 30 degrees, you cannot say they are congruent just because the two sides are equal. No. The angle must be included for you to say they are equal if they are not a right angle. But if you have right angle, hypotenuse to be equal, and then one other side to be equal, you can say that the triangles are congruent. We are going to look at example. Okay, example 1. In each pair of triangles, state whether it is congruent or not congruent. Now, look at A. This one you don't need to solve anything. say I, A, we have angle, and a side in between it. Angle, and a side in between it. This is equal to this is equal to this. So we can say they are congruent because it is one of the conditions for congruency. Congruent. And the reason is because angle, side, angle. This is how you answer it. Or you can say two angles and corresponding side. It's the same thing as angle, side, angle. Then look at this. We have side, side, and then still angle in between the two sides. So they are congruent as well. B, they are also congruent. And the condition is side, angle, side. Or two sides and an included angle. You can write it that way. Two sides and an included angle. Then look at this third one. We have two sides, but the angle is not an included angle. And it is not even a right angle. So, this one is not congruent. Not congruent. Not congruent. And of course, if it is not congruent, you don't have any condition. So, look at number D of the question. We have side, side, side. And when you have side, 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 you can as well say they are congruent. The triangle is congruent if the three sides are equal. Side, side, side. Or three sides. So that is the solution to number 1. Let's look at the number 2 of this question. Number 2 says, in the following statements below of triangles ABC and PQR, sketch the triangles and mark in what is given, stating if they are congruent or not. Now we are going to make a sketch of the triangles. Look at A. We have that AB is equal to PQ, BC is equal to QR, and angle B is equal to angle Q. Now let's go. We have a triangle, let's say AB is equal to PQ. And they said that BC is equal to QR. So BC, let's say C somewhere here, is equal to QR somewhere here. This is equal to this. Then you complete the triangle. And the angle B, that is angle B, is equal to angle Q. Is equal to angle Q. You can see that we have side, angle, side, and they are congruent. They are congruent. The second question says, the second question says AB is equal to RQ, B is equal to Q, and C is equal to P. Now, AB is equal to RQ. AB is equal to RQ. B is equal to Q. Angle B, let's say this is C. Let's say this is P, because the triangle is PQR and ABC. So they said Q is equal to B. And C is equal to P. This is C. This is C is equal to P. You can see we have two angles, and a corresponding side. Because, okay, let's say this, use two curves to represent this. A corresponding side, because the side that this, the part of this triangle where this side is still the same part. Because you can see the angle, this angle is corresponding to this angle. Therefore, this side is also corresponding to this side. We can say that they are congruent. The two triangles are congruent. And the reason why we say they are congruent is because we have angle, side. Two angles and a corresponding side. Two angles and a corresponding side. Then, the third one, example C of number 2 question, says AC is equal to PQ, B is equal to R, and angle C is equal to Q. Now let's draw the diagram. AC is equal to PR. So AC is equal to PR, and angle B is equal to angle R. Angle B, this is B, the third side of the triangle is B. Angle B is equal to angle R. This is Q. So angle R is here. While angle C is equal to angle Q. Angle C is equal to angle Q. Angle C is equal to angle Q. Now look at this. We as well have two angles and a side. But the side is not corresponding. The side is not corresponding. The corresponding side of this other side is here. And the corresponding of this is here. So these two sides are not corresponding. Therefore, they are not congruent. They are not congruent. It can only be congruent if the two sides are corresponding. That is, the side that falls within the corresponding angle. Because it's this angle that is corresponding to this angle. So if you must put the side, it should be here. It should be this side that will be equal to this side, and this side should be equal to this side for you. This side for you to say that the triangles are congruent. But since they are not corresponding, they are not congruent. So you can see how we have been able to determine congruency of triangles. You don't necessarily need to know the three sides and three angles of that triangle for you to say that they are congruent. But this condition that we have met defines that the three sides and the three angles are equal, telling you that they are congruent. Because congruent triangles are triangles that have equal sides and equal angle. But like I said, you are not necessarily supposed to know the three angles and the three sides before you determine that they are congruent. We are going to stop here. Do well to go below this video and see your notes attached. Copy the notes and look at it once more so that you can understand better. Thank you and God bless you.